and a couple of people can come here also.
Stay here. Veronique, you can stay left.
You can stand here. There we go. All of you can stand here.
Evan.
You can stand there. Stand there. Okay, Joe. Are we all here?
Yes.
Okay, to my right there is a wall. We call it a dry wall. Dry wall because it does not have cement or mortar. It's rather compact though. As we move through the tunnels, you will be able to see dozens of dry walls like this. Behind the dry wall, there is a loose material. Here it is. And then in front of us, there is a tunnel going to the left. So actually here we can see two civilizations. The first one who built this underground tunnel network, and the second one who came later and closed everything down. So they were bringing this filling material, sealing off the tunnels and building the walls. And we will see the same pattern everywhere. The tunnel that we are using right now was completely closed. It was completely filled up with the material all the way to the ceiling until 4 years ago. And then we were cleaning the tunnel, moving towards the sun pyramid. In the filling material we are finding pieces of organic material, pieces of wood. The age of the wood, 4,610 years. So almost 5,000 years ago, the tunnels have been sealed off. So they were built much, much before that. Both civilizations were rather developed because both of them were able to manipulate with huge quantities of material. And we know nothing about them. They are not in the history books. So we have to change the history books. And that's exactly where we have problems with cultural establishment. They don't want changes, especially not by the non-profit independent foundations. Let's move on.
And so, in these materials, you find some ceramics or things like that, or only
We'll come to that.
Okay.
We can see a dry wall, and then filling material and the tunnel. To my left, another dry wall, filling material, the tunnel. Those tunnels completely closed and they are parallel. 10 meters from here it will be another one parallel to those two. 10 meters before we just passed another one, so we have 4 parallel tunnels. Until 3 years ago they were completely closed. Right now just 2 of them are closed. The tunnels that we are using right now was closed all the way to the top. So now we can see the system they were using. They would close one section up and they built a tunnel. They closed another one, they built a tunnel, they closed this section, they built a tunnel. So somebody was systematically closing all the tunnels. They had a big reason for that. Because now we are talking thousands of tons of the filling material. Hundreds of thousands of stones from the river bed. Why would somebody do that? Obviously it was not a primitive caveman. They had a big secret to hide. So, what is the secret? Archaeologists would like to find a sarcophagus. That's a big secret and big finding for them. People in the 21st century would like to see a precious gold. But I think it's something even more important. And what is more important? A technology. If you have technology, you can rule the world. Let's move on. Thank you.
And so when you dig out the filling materials,
Yes.
do you probe them in order to find something?
Of course.
Just
Now,
outside, I guess.
yes. Outside, what we do, we check for every. Come, let me show you.
Okay.
So here, of course, we can see a little driveway, right? With those stones. Now, fill material, and the tunnel is there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
See? Every tunnel was like this. Every one of them. So we start cleaning, and they are closed all the way. It's not just 1 or 2 meters.
All the way.
All the way. And then 10 meters from here, intersection with more driveway.
Okay.
And then what you do, you're looking for south, southeast, you clean just one. The rest of them, you just keep them there.
So you mean that when they built the pyramid, they were digging in, digging
They
out
were-
these tunnels and then filling them in and then digging.
That was
another
second
one.
civilization.
Oh,
Pyramid
okay,
builders
yeah.
are the tunnels builders.
Yes. Okay.
Pyramids
Okay,
and tunnels, part of the same complex.
So you didn't.
Those later who came,
Okay.
they wanted to hide everything.
Okay. And so when was it built? You will tell us later on, I guess.
They didn't go to the sample. Another group, okay, let's make them room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, come a little bit closer. This is our megalith K1. You see on the posters, megalith K1. Of course, in archaeology, megalithus, a big stone. It was discovered in 2006. It was completely covered by the material above. And this material above is called conglomerate. It is a natural sedimentation. When you have flood, water brings a lot of stones, pebbles and rocks. And look at it, some stones are bigger, some medium size, some small size. And then you have them different colors. You have gray and black and white and brown and green, different colors. Remember that. When we get to the Sun Pyramid, you will see concrete blocks. And they are built from this material. And those will be the oldest concrete blocks on the planet. So, when they built the tunnels, they had to remove thousands, hundreds of thousands of tons of materials. Which material? Rocks, sand. What did they do with it? They built concrete blocks. What do we use today for our concrete? Rocks, sand, water, cement. They use rock, sand, water, and melted clay, which you're going to see on the Sun Pyramid. So there is a direct link between the construction underground and the pyramids above the ground. How old is the conglomerate? When did we have the first floods? In this material, we sometimes find pieces of wood which got trapped after the water receded. That wood is 32,000 years old, meaning everything below is even older. And what do we have below? We have a megalithic block. It's 2 meters 60 long, 1 meter 40 wide, 40 centimeters thick. It has 4 tons. Across, there is another one. Behind you, young lady, there is a megalith which you call K3. K3 is 3.5 tons in weight. And as you can see, it's not completely uncovered. And now, behind your legs, young lady, there is a third one. This is just the beginning of the third megalith. You see the brownish color? So we have megalith after megalith after megalith. So this was a megalithic site. Why here? Below us, 2 important things for ancient people. One, underground water streams. When water moves, it releases the energy. Megalith has the ability to receive the energy and slowly release it. When you have a lot of megaliths, it becomes energy potent site. And the second element, ley lines, energy lines underground. We have at least 3 major ley lines here in Visoko Valley. So the ancient people knew energies better than we do. They don't have technology, but they knew how to find those energy potent places. So megalithic sites like Stonehenge in South England or Karnak in Western France or other places, they were always connected to the ley lines and underground water streams. It seems that this one might be the oldest megalithic site in Europe. Of course, there are some carved symbols here, like those here, those here, and when we completely uncover the megalith, all 25 symbols shown in the poster here. So some of them, they look like arrows, some of them like letters, symbols, but obviously we do have some signs of literacy. Other conglomerate, which is 32,000 years old, meaning, you can sit over there if you want. This is our megalith K2. The K1 and K3, 3.5 and 4 tons. This one is 8 tons. As we go deeper, the megaliths are getting bigger and bigger. And look at it. Its surface looks like we have a series of hills and the valleys and the rivers. Maybe this was a relief, a topography of Visoko Valley thousands of years back. We have the line here on the top. Looks like we have a cover here. And then below this megalith, there is a plate which is about 15 centimeters thick. It's shown here. Obviously it was used as a support. Now this is very important archaeological proof. If you have support, it means somebody picked up this area, placed this plate as a support, and then put a megalith on top of it. And they connected them with the binding material based on calcium carbonate. Why? Because they didn't want this block to move left or right. Why? Well, we know why. 22 meters below us, underground water stream. Water is coming from this way, following the crack, and then exactly in the middle, below us, it's hitting the obstacle, splitting into 2 water streams. And that place is energetically very important. For some more sensitive people, they can feel the energies here going in 3 different ways. Here, clockwise, counterclockwise, back and front. Now, we took samples of this megalith and sent them to Zagreb, Croatia, to Institute for Atomic Physics. And we asked them a very simple question. Is this a natural block or is this artificially put together? They applied 2 very sophisticated analyses. The first one is Röntgen diffraction analysis. The second one was phased analysis. And their conclusion, it was definitely a ceramic. If it is ceramic material, it means it was artificially put together. Then we wanted to see if there was anything inside, because as you can see, it reaches about 0.5 meter in thickness. So people with the georadar instrument came here and they told us 2 very important conclusions. The first one, that this block is made in 2 pieces. The base, about 30 centimeters, and the cover, the lid, about 10 centimeters. And in between is the air pillow. And the second conclusion, exactly in the middle, there was an oval object. They said it was not the air, it was not the water, it was not ceramic, it was not metal, but mineral, and most probably quartz crystal. So what do we have now? 22 meters below us, underground water stream. This is the energy. Energy activates the quartz crystal. It is surrounded by ceramic. Ceramic vibrates and generates electromagnetic field, which we can measure using our scientific instruments. You bring oscilloscope and spectrometer here, and you can measure 2 frequencies of electromagnetism. The first one is 28 kilohertz, the second one is 7.83 hertz. The first one, 28 kilohertz, we can measure here. We can measure by K1, K3, and other megaliths.